everybody. So, welcome back to my channel. Today, I just wanted to sit down, have a cup of tea, and just have a little chat about relationships and dating and all those fun things. Because the day this video comes out, it will be the day before Valentine's Day, which is just all about, you know, love and things. Sorry that the setup is like not the most aesthetic, but I just, you know, really felt like sitting on the floor. So here we are. I asked you on Instagram to ask me questions about relationships and dating and all those things, so we're gonna get to those. And yeah, let's get started. I've had a very interesting dating history, and by that I mean it is obsolete. So I feel like everyone knows this, but I live with my boyfriend Storm. He's not really in my videos that much. We've been dating since the fall of like 2016. So I guess like 3.5 years, which is just crazy. Before him and I started dating, I did not date really anybody. I was a very late bloomer, and so Storm and I started dating when I was 19. Up until I was 19, I honestly never had a boyfriend ever. I went to a Christian school from preschool to grade 12, so I was a very religious little child and teenager. So my idea of dating, I just feel like, was so different than it is now. Yeah, my family isn't actually that religious. I think it was just from going to a Christian school that was very religious, and then going to Christian camp in the summer. I was just so saturated in like Christian life. Like everything I heard about dating and boys was always like dating, intentional dating to marry, and like saving yourself for marriage, and like it was just very obviously like a religious mindset. Not that I think that's a bad thing at all. I just think I never really got the opportunity to like think for myself that much, if ever, about what I actually thought and felt about things, which is just a whole nother topic I can talk about in another video. So then I never dated anybody in high school, middle school, nothing. I had like a couple things. There was one guy at Christian camp. I think he's married now, but him and I really hit it off. I brought him home to meet my mom. Good times. So I never really dated anybody. I was always interested in guys in high school, but nothing ever came to fruition. And then in my first year of university, I went to a Christian university, and there I didn't date anybody. It wasn't until I transferred universities. After my first year of university, I transferred to University of Toronto, which was my first experience not being in a Christian education institute. Like University of Toronto is just a normal public university. Yeah, that was a whole new world for me. Relating it to relationships and dating, that was like my first experience dating people for the most part. So that only lasted like a little bit. And Storm and I started dating my second year. Yeah, that's like my little dating history. Not trying to like throw any shade or anything. I just kind of figured out who I am along the way. So with dating, obviously it like ties into that. Like I said, I asked you guys on Instagram to ask me questions. Let's just go through them. I haven't prepared for this video at all, so let's just see what happens. Okay, first question. Any backlash from religious family when moving in with your boyfriend? How did you deal? Good question. So I think I mentioned this. My family actually isn't that religious. My mom is Christian, but she's very real and normal. So Storm and I moved in together a couple years ago. Yeah, my mom was super supportive. She totally trusted me. She loves Storm, and I think that helps a lot. My whole family was very supportive. I didn't actually get any backlash at all, which I'm very lucky about, because I know a lot of people get a lot of backlash from their family and things, which is just very stressful. But I just feel like I'm lucky that my family is very supportive and they love Storm. Like, he's part of our family, so did not get any backlash. To help with the question, I feel like if I did get backlash from someone in my family, communication is key as much as possible. I feel like sometimes it is hard to communicate with people. If you view life so differently, it's gonna be really hard to come to a common ground. But at the end of the day, if you're an adult and you're happy and you need to just live your life for you, like, you don't want to burn any bridges, but you know, do what makes you happy, trust yourself and that you know what's right, and talk to your family as much as possible. Being an open book as much as possible with your family helps a lot, because they get more of an insight into a relationship, so that makes them feel more comfortable. Next question, how do you get over someone? I have definitely been there. I feel like it's hard to get over somebody as well, even if you didn't officially date them. I feel like it's still just as hard, because you're mourning that potential of this relationship relationship you could have had. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like getting over somebody in general is just really hard. It's such a shift in mindset. Be prepared to go meet somebody new. Give yourself like a little bit of time to talk to your friends about it and think about it a ton and get it all out there, but don't let that drag on for too long. I think that's my biggest thing I've learned. I was seeing this guy in university and it's literally all I could talk about to everybody. Like, I'd go for lunch with somebody, I would talk about it the whole time, talk to my mom about it every time we FaceTime. I could just not stop talking about it. And although I'm a verbal processor, it's just not productive because then my mind is just filled up with that all day. So I think just give yourself some time to definitely like verbally process, and then just force yourself to talk about other things and do other things. Because if every time you go for coffee with your friends or every time you go to the gym you're talking, like it's all you're talking and thinking about, it's gonna be really hard to get over somebody. So try to just, you know, pick up a new hobby, talk about someone else, ask how someone else is doing, just so like the topic doesn't come up all the time, because it's just gonna be really hard to move on if you're constantly thinking and talking about it. I think also cut them out of your life completely. It's gonna be 10 times longer to get over somebody if you have them on Snapchat, you watch their Instagram stories, if they're still talking to you, you see them in class, you talk to them, like it's gonna be impossible. So you just need to put yourself first, be a little selfish. If they still wanna reach out, don't. Like, it's gonna be so hard. You need to just set some boundaries and block their Instagram so you don't see it. Yeah, just keep yourself busy. If you fake it until you make it, you will eventually get over them. You will meet somebody new and that just wasn't your person. So yeah, don't let them have so much control over your feelings and your life. It's so hard, but try not to let somebody have so much control. Try to put them out of your mind as best as possible. And yeah, I've never had a relationship in my 20s. What do you think guys will think about that? And I can definitely relate to this. When I started dating Storm, he had girlfriends before me and I didn't have any experience. I was so used to just doing my own thing that I was a disaster the first few months because I was just so confused, very dramatic. So yeah, but at the end of the day, if that is your person, no matter if you've dated nobody or dated 12,000 people, it's not gonna matter. You're gonna be together anyways. If you're meant to be, you're gonna be. I feel like for the most part, if you've never had a boyfriend, it can almost be a good thing because you're most likely to be more vulnerable because you haven't really had your heart broken by a long-term boyfriend or anything. There are definitely a lot of benefits. Just think of it as the opposite. If you were dating a guy who had never had a girlfriend, would you think that was weird if you had a boyfriend? Like, I don't know. I just think it's actually not that big of a deal, especially at 20. Take the opportunity, live your life, do things for you, be selfish, because if you do meet your person, you'll never be single again. So I feel like if someone makes you feel insecure or weird about anything, especially your dating history, they're probably not the right person. So yeah. Okay, next question. How do you make quality time for each other when you live together? I think one of the nice things about living together is that you don't have to put as much pressure on finding time to spend with each other, because every night you go to bed together and every morning you wake up together. Quality time is definitely different than just like time spending together, sitting on the couch or sleeping next to each other. But I feel like maybe each week or every other week, having a specific like plan of being like, okay, this Saturday we're going for brunch, or this Monday night we're gonna watch The Bachelor and order pizza and like be together. I think you can definitely get in a rut of just like cohabitating and not really making quality time. So I think people put a lot of pressure on having like quality time and having these like extravagant date nights. Watching The Bachelor, having some pizza and a glass of wine is like the ideal quality time you could spend together. Sitting there watching a guy date 30 women is the most bonding experience you could ever have. All of the opinions will come out and it'll just be great. So that could be your quality time. Okay, next question. How do you meet people when you're working full time? So I got a lot of questions being like, how do you meet people? I feel like if I was single, I would be on the app. Being on like Hinge, or maybe not Tinder, but being on Hinge or Bumble, I feel like that's how everybody meets nowadays, is on apps, right? So I feel like if I really wanted to meet somebody, I have a really busy schedule, I work full time, I do YouTube, like I don't have a ton of free time, I feel like the apps is really the best way to go. And I feel like that's how everybody meets nowadays. And if you're embarrassed about meeting somebody on Hinge, you could just lie about how you met. you could make up a story together and that could be a bonding moment. I feel like as soon as you graduate university, it gets really hard to meet people when you're working full time. Unless you meet somebody at work, you're just like, it's very hard. If anyone else has better advice, please feel free to leave that down below. Those are all the questions I'm gonna answer today. Hope you guys enjoyed watching this video. I hope you enjoyed getting a little more personal. Yeah, I hope you have a good Valentine's Day and it's full of either self-care nights of putting a face mask on and listening to a podcast, or maybe you're going on a date night, a girls' night out, whatever you're gonna do. I hope you have a good day on Valentine's Day. Yeah, I'll talk to you guys on Sunday. Yeah, okay, bye.